Omaha is going through one of the worst droughts in this city's history. We'll show you a few people who are affected and some who are not by the shortage of rain that is said to be once in a quarter of a century occurrence. Good afternoon, I'm Anthony Pontiero.
And I'm Jan Moore. We'll also take a look at the changes in the UNO athletic department and some of the venues that now call the Mavericks home in its second season as a Division I affiliate. You're watching the Omaha News.
Something wasn't right.
Were they lying to the public?
There was a bigger story here than just a plane crash.
It's become the symbol of everything that's wrong with the industry.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
According to the Omaha utility officials, this is Nebraska's worst drought in 25 years, which means dying crops and less money for area farmers. And farmers are looking for resources to help them through. This summer, 80% of the United States experienced drought conditions that ruined key crops. Almost halfway through September, and it has become evident to farmers across the metro area that their crops have reached a point of no return. Carson Day has been in the farming business for over 50 years. He said that the drought this year has caused many shortage of many types of crops in the area.
Well, it has totally devastated the dryland crops. It's just going to depend mostly on if the dryland farmers or the irrigated, either one, as far as that goes, if they had crop insurance to cover the drought and one thing or another. If they have that, then it's going to be decent, but it's still going to be tight to breaking even.
Even though the drought has caused some financial burdens to farmers, there are other resources such as growing alternative crops that have not been grown for a while, and crops that can grow during the drought season.
Is it maybe raising some other type of crop that hasn't been raised for a number of years, or maybe it's new to this area?
Well, farmers can't control the weather. The one thing they can control is how much crop insurance they want to spend. According to the CarneyHub.com, the average farmer could easily survive 1 year of drought-like conditions. But if it continues for 3 or 4 more years, then it is unlikely that they could survive such a hit.
With crops getting affected by this year's drought and with Halloween approaching us, you may be wondering, how will it affect our favorite October holiday? You may be surprised at the answer.
It almost starts around Christmas time, which you wouldn't think of pumpkins at Christmas, but that's about when we order our seed for the next year.
Tim Valla, owner of Valla's Pumpkin Patch here in Omaha, harvests around 55 acres of pumpkins each year. And with the summer drought, could this affect our spooky fall holiday?
I would say it's an okay year. I don't know if we, sometimes you don't know till you have a frost and you'll see what you have. And there's a couple areas that, was kind of on the edge of our field that didn't get the irrigation that we know, and because it was so dry, anything that we didn't irrigate really was kind of a crop failure.
This summer's dry conditions hurt many other crops, but it won't stop our Halloween jack-o'-lanterns.
No, actually, pumpkins do better in dry weather than wet weather. So in some ways, we would much rather have it too dry than too wet.
Over the last 28 years, Valla's has been producing plenty of pumpkins for the Omaha area. Though a summer drought may affect other summer crops, it will not affect our Halloween season.
We work with a lot of irrigation. We're spending like 24 hours on each zone, pretty much every day.
Where we got irrigation, we're pretty average, I would say. The nice thing with pumpkins is that they pollinate, or they put flowers on over a long period of time.
Valla sells around 200 and 250 tons of pumpkins each year.
And but I would say we probably have an 80-90% crop. I mean, it looks like a pretty decent crop, so we're pretty happy with it.
With the pumpkins not being affected by the dry conditions, Valla's Pumpkin Patch opened for the first time on in the 2012 season on September 21st and is open through Halloween.
Just like the pumpkins, Nebraska grape crops also have seemed to flourish with the dry weather. Reporter Kevin Cleaver checked out a wine company and a vineyard to see why this is.
The summer of 2012 proved to be one of the driest on record. But unlike most agricultural industries, the grape harvest has seen many benefits. The early spring and dry picking season has enabled vineyards to complete harvest sooner than expected. John Draney of the Omaha Wine Company near 114th and Dodge has been working in wine for 30 years. He knows why low rainfall is beneficial to grapes.
And when you come to the end of it, you definitely don't want rain, because once you got a grape that's loaded with sugar and flavor and everything is happy inside the grape, it's looking to make good wine, you don't want that vine to start pumping water up from the rainfall, the late rainfall.
Jim Shaw of Soaring Wings Vineyard has been making wine almost his entire life.
Started making wine when I was 13 in South Omaha, selling it to the kids in the neighborhood until I got in trouble for it.
He says even people who aren't wine experts will be able to notice a difference in this year's wine.
Some seasons will be very similar, the wines will be similar. This season's dry reds will be typically a little bit more intensely colored and intensely flavored, and people who drink those will notice a difference, even if they're casual drinkers, I think.
Overall, 2012's drought has been detrimental to the agriculture industry. But as this year's grape harvest shows, there's always a silver lining. For the Omaha News, I'm Kevin Cleaver.
Despite the drought not affecting pumpkins and grapes, this past summer will go down as the driest and the third warm summer in the history of Nebraska, according to the National Climatic Data Center. But it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. The U.S. Climate Prediction Center predicts above normal temperatures through November across the United States, including Nebraska.
Omaha police have identified a man whose body was found in a garage fire last month. Police say he is a 58-year-old Omaha area man, but they are withholding his name until his relatives can be notified. Firefighters found the man's body when they extinguished the fire in a garage at 1531 South 28th Street. Police are still investigating the death and are seeking the public's help.
Coming up after the break, Exarban Village seems to be growing every day.
We'll give you an inside look at what you find if you make your trek over to Midtown. You're watching the Omaha News.
Something wasn't right.
Were they lying to the public?
There was a bigger story here than just a plane crash.
It's become the symbol of everything that's wrong with the industry.
My kid got 6 vaccines in one day and he regressed.
Not only are those children who aren't vaccinated at risk, but those who can't be vaccinated are at risk.
Nobody really knew what was going on. What was it in this market that had to be hidden?
I spent millions of dollars in cash, bribing government officials.
People in power do not like the investigation to come too close to them.
You never hear these stories.
Tuesdays on NET1.
The first broadcast was to be at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. We'd pre-taped it. And they pushed the switch and nothing happened.
That certainly was an interesting experience with me. I mean, I'd spent 2 years essentially getting this station ready, and we had everything prepared to go, and then we flipped the switch and heard silence.
Somehow the line had got wired through a light switch.
Mm-hmm. And a guy out there went off shift at 4 o'clock. At the exact moment we were to go on, he pushed the switch and we went off the air before we went on.
The engineer went back to this little room, turned the lights on. And I said, well, everything's fine here, everything seems to be working. So, okay, well, we've got a signal now. So the guy thinks, well, I'll go home. He goes home, turns the light switch off, then KVNO goes off the air again.
We were supposed to sign on at 4, and I think it must have been about 5:30 when we finally got the thing on the air. That was certainly an experience I'll never forget.
Good afternoon.
KVNO, the voice of the University of Nebraska at Omaha, now begins its regular broadcast schedule. Welcome to Fine Arts Radio for Greater Omaha, KVNO.
You're watching the Omaha News.
The first business at Exarban Village opened just 4 years ago in 2008. Welcome back to the Omaha News. I'm Anthony Pontiero.
And I'm Jan Moore. The Knights of Exarban were founded in 1895, and to keep up with the times, Exarban Village was born more than 120 years later. Exarban Village is located just south of the UNO campus. Our John D. Haskell found the village offers a great opportunity for business and entertainment for students like Leiloa Vieira, a UNO sophomore.
It's walking distance, first of all, and I don't know, it's easy access. It's not as crowded or like busy as it is down there on like Dodge and whatnot.
Students can move from campus housing to other options in Exarban Village. As far as entertainment goes, Exarban has it all. Restaurants, fitness clubs, and grocery stores to name a few. Exarban is home to Stinson Park, which is a great place for families, students, and park-goers. Throughout the spring and summer, Stinson Park features free concerts and a variety of festivals. Exarban features a movie theater and Mojo Smokehouse and Ales. The owner, Reynold McMean, explains.
Here you had this huge metropolitan area where they supported a campus with 10,000 kids on it more than they supported a campus with 15,000 kids on it. The whole town's painted Creighton blue. We see a heck of a lot more potential for it to be painted Mav red.
Exarban Village has a few events coming up for people all ages. On Saturday, September 29th, there's a dog walk fundraiser, and on Sunday, September 30th, there's an Omaha Farmers Market and a Purple Light Candle Vigil.
Nebraska Athletic Director Tom Osborne has announced that he plans to resign on January 1st. Osborne has served as the athletic director the past 5 years. The 75-year-old said that the main reason for deciding to resign is his age. As the head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, he compiled a record of 25-49-3 with 3 national titles in his 25-year haul as a famed career. Following his retirement and his 6-year roller coaster ride in politics, he became the intern athletic director, replacing Steve Peterson. 2 of his first jobs as AD were firing Bill Callahan and then hiring Bo Pelini as a Nebraska head football coach. Osborne was a big component into getting the Huskers into the Big Ten. He said that he will continue to stay around for 6 months after retiring to help with the transition and support recruiting for multiple programs.
In light of one recent $1 million McCullough surprise, OPS has proposed a new policy that would prevent this from happening ever again. The proposed policy requires all employment contracts to be filed in the Human Resource Department. It ensures that the school district attorney annually reviews the superintendent's contract with the school board. It requires that a copy of all employee contracts to be given to the school board members, and it requires that an employment contract spanning more than 1 fiscal year to be sent to the OPS manager, compensation and benefits. There are no reports yet when the proposal would go into the front of the board.
Methodist Hospital has been undergoing construction to add extra space for more operating rooms. Robbie Pinkelman tells us what else the hospital needs to do in order to make space available.
Methodist Hospital has been undergoing massive surgery to its south side building. The Dodge location performs nearly 28,000 surgeries a year, which is the most in our region. So the space needed has to come from the pre-existing location.
Jay Jadlowski of Methodist says the construction and the neighborhood are working together to make the inner streets accessible.
If we go through the city and kind of say who's going to park there, how we're going to park there, and we limit that, so we limit traffic through the neighborhood. So we really do a very good job of looking out for our neighbors, trying to say who is going to be affected by this, and make sure that we do our best not to interfere with their lives.
In order to create extra room for the anticipated 44 operating prep and recovery rooms and 15 operating rooms, including 2 heart rooms and 1 endovascular room, the 1978 parking garage located south of the building had to be demolished.
With the parking garage under construction, visitors and some staff are allowed to park on site. But for the other staff, they have to come down here to Crossroads and 72nd and Dodge and Park, take the shuttle to Methodist.
Crossroads parking garage just down the road from the hospital is finally starting to see life again with almost a full capacity during the week.
Courtney Zook of Methodist explains how the Crossroads parking garage is managing all of their visitors.
We're sharing the parking lot right now with UNO students, and so we park on the 3rd and 4th levels. And then I know Children's Hospital also parks on the 5th level, and they take the shuttle service as well.
With the demolition 95% complete, the new $12 million parking garage, which will be 4 floors, is expected to be done in a year. For the Omaha News, I'm Robbie Pinkelman.
All of these renovations to Methodist don't come cheap. The estimated amount of the new addition to the hospital is total around $87 million. Coming up, there's a nonprofit organization in Omaha that brings international and American students together in just one house.
We'll take a look inside and show you how important this organization truly is in the building friendship with people from all over the globe. You're watching the Omaha News.
PBS is the place you should go first.
There are no advertisers to be satisfied, only an audience to be satisfied.
We take our responsibility as journalists very seriously. We are constantly thinking about our viewers and what they care about.
We want to let you know what the information is, and then you decide what you want to think.
At the NewsHour, we are after the facts and only the facts.
UNO TV invites you to take a journey around the world, to lush jungles with endangered species, to exotic lands and different cultures, to lost cities beneath the sands. Travel through time to see ancient secrets on the other side of the world, the growth of the American West, or the start of Nebraska's largest city, or just explore our state. Find out about Nebraska in World War II. Learn how Omaha has grown since. Discover the effort to renovate its green spaces, the history of one of its most impressive buildings, or look at its internationally recognized university. For over 20 years, UNO TV has produced award-winning documentaries that explore, educate, and enlighten. To find out more, call 402-554-2516 or visit unotv.unomaha.edu.
NET Television expands your mind, enlightens your mind, inspires your mind, educates your mind, entertains your mind. NET Television opens up new worlds to you. Explore, travel, learn, discuss, debate. NET Television keeps you informed. Music, theater, dance, art, news. NET Television awakens your dreams, seeks to serve, strengthens our communities. We are Nebraskans. We are NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders. A place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
You're watching the Omaha News.
Welcome back to the Omaha News. I'm Jan Moore.
And I'm Anthony Pontiero. Every week, a group of international students get together to meet with people that they normally wouldn't be able to talk to. Jiajing Liu shows us how people from all parts of the world build friendships under the same roof.
Every Friday night, between 40 and 90 international and American students come to a non-profit organization, Global Friends, to have dinner, play games, and communicate. Global Friends is a friendship program that tries to develop friendship between international students and American students. Global Friends serves students from all over the world in Omaha, Nebraska, and it meets the students' physical needs, spiritual needs, and provides to a home away from home.
The great part of this organization, Global Friends, is people from all over the world would meet in this house.
I always enjoy getting to talk to somebody one day from China, maybe the next day from Germany, maybe India.
Global Friends also helps international students match with conversational partners and find housing. Damian Ipeluso is from Italy. He has been to Global Friends for almost 10 months.
I like Global Friends because so many different people from different parts of the world. It's a nice way to socialize.
Julia Worth is the leader of Global Friends and founded 5 years ago.
Everyone from any background, from any country, are welcome and can share openly and honestly their true thoughts and feelings.
For the Omaha News, I'm Jiaxing Liu.
For more information on Global Friends, go to facebook.com/globalfriendsomaha, where you can see what upcoming events they're having and the different topics that they will discuss from week to week.
Kids in schools are required to eat more fruits and vegetables nowadays, but some kids are throwing them away rather than eating them. So Westside High School has a program to keep fruits and veggies out of the waste bin and into the hands of the people in need. Student Kelly Shilkin started a program that allows students to put the produce into bins that get handed out to the hungry across the District 66.
Millard skaters are determined to find a new home for a skate park they're interested in building. Samantha Netkosh is in the newsroom with more. Samantha?
Thanks, Anthony. With only a handful of skate parks in the Omaha area, some local skateboarders have plans for building one near them in Millard. Skate shops and skaters are coming together to show the community that the skateboarding scene in Omaha needs to catch up with the rest of the nation. That's why Millard South freshman Cole Guerrero started this Facebook page, New Millard Skate Park. Cole explains what they plan to do.
Just try to raise some money and get the word out and see if it works.
Local skaters believe that one being built in Millard would not only give them something to do that's self-entertaining, but also something that's free and keeps kids out of trouble. Currently, there are 2 all-cement skate parks in Omaha, both of them east of 84th Street. Skaters like Josh Mattia say Seymour Smith is the closest park.
And it takes us about 20 minutes to get here, so.
In fact, many kids like Gabe Bartlett end up skating parking lots or on public property.
There's only so many skate parks.
Rich True, the team manager at All Out Skate Shop, thinks a park in Millard will help bridge the gap in the skateboarding community.
But to show you that not only can we do tricks on a skateboard, which is hard, but we can also build some stuff, and come together as a community and try to do something bigger than just the act of skateboarding.
He says that too many kids are getting in trouble nowadays for just practicing their craft and being creative.
Some of them have trespassing charges, and these are straight A kids.
As for the skaters in Millard that want a place to call their own, they have one simple request.
Help us build a skate park in Millard! Woo! Girls Skateboard Company!
In some states, schools are implementing skateboarding as part of their physical education program and encouraging skaters to learn about all the facets of skating, including safety. Anthony?
Thanks, Samantha Netkosh. For more information on the new skate park, join group New Millard Skate Park on Facebook. Coming up on the Omaha News, the UNO athletic program is still transitioning into Division I status.
We'll update you on how a couple of the sports teams are doing, and we'll show you some of the changes that are happening in the athletic department. You're watching the Omaha News.
Something new or reach beyond.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
When you want to peer inside,
there's something wrong here. This isn't normal.
Will it seem almost impossible or push the limit?
Large tornado! It's humongous! You need to get out now!
When you want to dive deep.
These divers are like astronauts.
Our human nature is to push into places that we don't know about.
Or go to the edge.
There are other worlds out there.
We don't know exactly what we're going to find.
When you want to find new frontiers.
I was truly astonished.
You just don't ever know.
Nova.
Wednesdays on NET1.
UNO Athletes is doing some remodeling in order to keep up with their Division I counterparts. Reporter Ernest Powell shows us how the changes impact the community around the university.
The UNO Athletic Department is keeping up with the rest of the university.
Expansion. The UNO SAP Fieldhouse was once home to many UNO sports teams. More options for athletes have changed to go play sports elsewhere, so too has UNO. Currently, the soccer team is playing and practicing at the athletic field just south of campus. But plans are in the works for a brand new NCAA regulatory soccer pitch and would be the third in the Omaha community, scheduled to open in 2013. UNO hockey, which is the most popular UNO sports, plays all of its home game at the Omaha CenturyLink downtown.
The Ralston Sports and Event Center, scheduled to open in late October, is the home of UNO's men's basketball program. And according to UNO Athletic Director Trev Alberts, this type of facility separates UNO from other schools.
We think going to Ralston where parking will be free, a brand new facility that's not too big, but will be about 4,000 seats for basketball, where every seat is good. We think it's going to be a huge competitive advantage for us to recruit to. We've taken student athletes through the new facility. We'll be the only institution in Summit League that has a brand new facility for men's basketball.
One also great event will be the first outdoor hockey game between UNO and North Dakota on February 9th at the TD Ameritrade Ballpark. There are plans in the work for a future on-campus hockey, baseball, and softball complex. For the Omaha News, I'm Ernest Powell.
Tickets for the UNO North Dakota hockey game, along with the Lancer Star Tilt that precedes it from TD Ameritrade Park, will go on sale Monday, October 1st, starting at $30. Tickets will be sold at Ticketmaster.com and the CenturyLink box office.
One of the biggest changes in the UNO athletic department is that the Mavericks now have a men's soccer or European football team instead of an American football team. And soccer in the 2012 are struggling in the 2012 campaign. The men have a 2-4-1 record in their debut season, with a lone tie with Summit League opponent Western Illinois. But the 2 wins come in their only 2 games at home over Bellevue and Seattle. The UNO men have 3 more games at the UNO soccer field to try and improve to a perfect 5-0 at home against IUPUI on September 29th, Eastern Illinois on October 6th, and Oakland on October 28th.
Also struggling is the Mavericks women's soccer team, who has yet to get a win this season. UNO has an 0-10 record, with 7 to their 10 losses being by 2 goals or less. The Mavericks have an extremely young team with just 1 senior on the roster and 11 underclassmen, led by the starting freshman goalkeeper Megan Clark from Boise, Idaho. UNO has 2 home games at the UNO soccer field this coming up weekend to try to get in the win column. They play host to the Fort Wayne on Friday, September 28th, and Oakland on Sunday, September 30th. That's it for this weekend's edition on the Omaha News. Thanks again for watching. Looking for more? Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Omaha News.
While you're there, you can check out other news stories our reporters covered and submit story ideas or give us feedback. We'd love to hear from you. From all of us here at the Omaha News and UNO Television, good night.
Local television news only gives you brief headlines about issues that may be important to you. But for more than 10 years, only one program has remained dedicated to examining all the information about issues that really matter to Nebraskans. I'm Kathy Wyatt, and it's my privilege to present those issues for your consideration. Join me on the campus of UNO in a program we call Consider This, every week on NET1.
You've always known you were a leader. Someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons. To learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here. the University of Nebraska at Omaha.